I hope everybody's doing well out there, staying safe, working hard on these packets. This week, we're going to be going over, you're going to start seeing a little bit of decimal addition, subtraction, also some estimation in there. So let's go over a little bit of a review for that. So first, let's work on our addition. So I have 0.24 plus 4.25. Now remember what we've learned in class, what's the most important part when you're getting ready to do this problem? That's going to be lining up the decimals. So I'm going to put my first number, then I'm going to go down. I'm going to go ahead and put my decimal right under that decimal. So you can even draw the lines going down to make sure that decimal is lined up. So now I can bring my number down. So 4.25 plus 0.24. So now it's just simple addition. So I can bring my decimal down already because that decimal is not going to move with this. So I have 5 plus 4, 9, 2 plus 2, 4. I bring down my 4. So this one would be 4.49. It's just that. The most difficult part is just making sure you align those decimals correctly. So let's take a quick look at subtraction as well. So with this, you'll see that I have 10.75 minus 4.13. Again, the most important part of this, lining up the decimals. So you're always going to write that first number up top. That's my 10.75. Now I'm going to subtract. Remember, lining up the decimals so I can go ahead and put my decimal. Now to the left, left of that decimal, I have a 4 in the ones place. To the right in the tenths place, I have a 1. In the hundredths place, I have a 3. So now I can work on subtracting these. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 1 is going to be 6. Remember that decimal stays in the same spot. If it helps you, you can draw your lines. Now I have 0 minus 4. Can I take 4 away from 0? If I have no money in my pocket, can I go buy something that's $4? I can't. So that means I'm going to have to borrow with my tens place. So I'm going to cross out that 1. And since I'm taking 1 from that, that comes down to 0. When I take 1 away from tens place, that means I have to add a 10 to that 0. So that now becomes a 10. So now I have 10 minus 4, and that's going to be 6. So I get the answer of 6.62. So now let's look at each of these numbers. Now we're going to go over our estimation. So if I want to round this number to the tenths place, now if I'm rounding this number to the tenths place, first off, point out where my tenths place is, find where my tenths place is. Yep, it's going to be that 4. Just to the right of my decimal is my tenths place. So if I'm rounding to this place value, what number am I going to look at to tell me if I'm rounding up or if I'm rounding down? To the right of it. That's going to be a 9. Does 9 mean it's going to round up or does 9 mean it's going to round down? It's going to round up. So 4 is going to round up. What's it going to round up to? That means it's going to round up to a 5. I bring down my 4. So I have 4.5, and that 9 becomes a 0. Anything after that number that you rounded to would become a 0. So I have 4.5 right there is what our estimation would be if I'm rounding to the 10th. Now, what if I'm rounding to the ones place over here? So I first need to find my ones place, and here it is just to the left of the decimal. So where my 6 is. So now what place, if I'm rounding my ones place, what place do I look at to tell me if I'm rounding up or down? That's going to be the 10th place this time. So I'm going to look at that 6 in the 10th place. That's going to tell me if I'm rounding up, or that's going to tell me if I'm rounding down. The 6, does that round up or down? It's going to round up again. So if our ones place is going to round up, what's the next one that 6 is going to go to? What's right after 6 going up? That's going to be 7. So I would come up for a 7.00, or just 7. So that would be how we round to the ones place. You can do this with any place, you just have to make sure you find the place that you're rounding to. If you're rounding to the ones place, if you're rounding to the tenths place, and so on. And then using that number directly to the right of that to tell me if I'm going to round up, if I'm going to round down. Remember, 5 and above, you go up, 4 and below, you go down. So I hope that helps you guys out. Please don't hesitate to ask if you guys do have any questions. I'd love to help you guys. And I'll talk to you again next week.